Howdy, howdy, howdy. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Well, actually, happy day after Thanksgiving. Hope you're recovering. Sleepy time. Um, that just means you ate too much. Don't blame the turkey. And by the way, we have a guest appearance from one of the horrible creatures. Say hello, horrible creature. Yeah, she doesn't cooperate. This is the one who can't be named in polite company. Um, Her name's a little bit off color, but I'll let you down, honey. So we'll just call her TB. She's also our little evil genius. We're lucky that she likes us and that she doesn't have thumbs. Otherwise, I'm sure she would be building an army of robots in the backyard to try to take over the world. Um, Job hunt still going. Got a couple nice little leads. Being very hopeful on those. Went to a very nice Thanksgiving yesterday with Jeannie Koch. She is a very nice author. Read her books. There's the Alien series. Alien Tango, I believe, is the first one. Because there's also like Alien in the Family and all that. There's, I think, 5 books, going to be 6 if she can actually get off her ass and write the last couple pages, which actually is not her fault, but I like teasing her about that. So go buy her books. I'm pimping her out. She's pimped out plenty of other people. Time for her to be pimped out a little bit too. Plus she fed me, so yay. Joseph is in Tucson now. He went to do Thanksgiving with his family, and now he's in Tucson. He's going to be watching a football game. Hi, honey. Go whoever it is that is playing against U of A, because you hate U of A. I think it's ASU. I don't know. I don't follow football. Go figure. I'm very happy to see that my weird lip swelling thing is down to normal today. The other day when I did that recording, it was freaky. It was like it was taking up half of my head. I can't even believe I posted that. Let's see. Oh, been working on making DVDs recently. Found some TV shows that just, they're not available the moment they make them available in the United States. Some of them are available region 2. But, the moment that they say they want my money, they can have my money. Anytime I've ever gotten like a bootleg of something like Birds of Prey, they finally came out with Birds of Prey on DVD. I went and bought it. I have no desire to keep people from making money off of me, okay? But if you don't want my money, well, then you don't care whether I make a copy, apparently. So I've been finding things, horribly embarrassing things. Like, I just found out that someone has the entire series of Caveman that I can get and burn, which, I don't know, maybe it was lowered expectations, but I found it funnier than How I Met Your Mother or Two and a Half Men. Either of those shows, pretty much ever. And I got the social commentary they were going for. Did it work? No. Was it a good idea? No. Should it have been on for even ever? No. But hey, I found it entertaining to a degree, and so I'm happy to find it available for me to make DVDs of. Let me know if anyone else is curious. I have a couple really horrible things that I found. Like, I'm also on the trail of Homeboys from Outer Space and something called Lost on Earth, which I don't even remember the show. Okay, but it's intriguing me now, and I have to find out what it is. I also want to take a moment now to talk about comics. And I've decided the day after Thanksgiving is a great day to commit comic book sacrilege. Especially Marvel comic book sacrilege. There are 3 artists that I'm just gonna go on record of like, well, okay, this is going to involve Steranko, Kirby, and Ditko, who I love Ditko. First, Steranko. Everybody talks about him as some sort of great comic book artist, super influential, blah, 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 blah. He did less than 40 comic books. And that has to include little 10-page stories, okay? The majority of his work was no more than 14 pages. Yes, he did some great pop art stuff that's been in like museums and stuff. He has a lousy sense of perspective. Actually, he has a lousy sense of anatomy. And his artwork is clearly derivative of Kirby. He just took Kirby to the next step. Okay, he added some Ditko surrealness to Kirby, and then did everything that Kirby had always wanted to do, but I'm not exactly sure why he didn't do. But you know those Kirby power bubbles? I'm with power. That was like really kind of pop arty itself. Okay, Kirby created those power bubbles. So, if you really look at Steranko's artwork, he's just channeling Kirby. He just added pop checks and psychedelia and blah blah blah. It's nice. It's very flashy to look at. Okay, I get it. He's not a great comic book artist. He's an okay pop artist, and not even a great one of those. Okay, he's a noteworthy pop artist who happened to do a handful of comic books. Stop calling him a great comic book artist. Okay, and actually look at his people, too. Okay, realize that he could not draw a person in perspective for more than 3 pages. It was really bizarre, and especially his covers. The cover, look at Strange Tales 167. Okay, that was the first one that I noticed, but there's quite a few others. And when he does guest work for things now, because they like to include the cover to Heroes role-playing game. There was a Marvel X-Men novel that he did a cover to. Look at those covers. Those are not people. Okay, the whole thing with Strange Tales, everybody's tilted this way, and I get that maybe there was a reason, but they're also tilted, like, Nick Fury is tilted in this way, in such a way that makes his legs look like they bend at a weird angle, like they're kind of rubbery and halfway broken. Horrible, horrible artists for people. Speaking of horrible artists for people, let's move on to Kirby. Kirby was a genius. Okay. All his people looked like they were constructed out of Legos. But you didn't look at Kirby artwork for something beautiful. Okay, it's kind of like the comparison between Fred Astaire and Singing in the Rain, that guy. I want to say Gene Autry, and that's not his name. The other guy, Singing in the Rain guy, who, blanking my mind right now, was athletic. Astaire was pretty. Kirby artwork is athletic. It's energetic. It is just dynamic. There's no sense of, like, pretty in anything. The only woman he ever did that was halfway attractive was surprisingly Big Barda, who was some sort of weird giant woman. Since he based that on his wife, I think that's the reason why he put a little extra effort into making her pretty. Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, looked like a drag queen for most of his artwork. He was notorious for sometimes deciding that it didn't matter for a character to have a left hand and a right hand. Who pays attention to whether someone has both types of hands? You didn't look at him for prettiness. You looked at him for the raw energy and dynamic and storytelling ability he had as an artist. Those who like to say that he's been robbed by Marvel for his storytelling, that Stanley is taking too much credit, This may sound like I'm a Stanley apologist, but name something Kirby did that he wrote that lasted more than 20 issues. You get like 30 seconds. And I'm lying. You're not going to get 30 seconds because I don't have 30 seconds to give you right now. The reason why you're having so much difficulty is because there's almost nothing. Okay? I even had to do a quick little search. Command-Eye. Yeah, Command-Eye, where apparently he reinvented Sue Storm as a little boy from the future, because really, look at Command-Eye. He looks exactly like Sue Storm when she got married. Eternals lasted 20 issues if you count the annual. Newsboy Legion and Boy Commandos and Sandman, which many of these started in the Golden Age when he was working with Simon. So I don't even think he wrote those. The guy he needed a filter. I'll give you that he probably wrote a lot of Thor. Maybe Stanley had very little input on Thor. I'll give you that one. His greatest series, Mr. Miracle, lasted only 18 issues. Okay? And that's the best writing he ever did. Okay? That was fantastic writing for anyone. 18 issues. He needed a filter. He needed someone to come along and make his big ideas good ideas. That's what Stan Lee did. Okay? Kirby couldn't put together a good idea for more than like 8 issues. And even then, they ran thin after 8 issues. Many of them ran thin after 2. So stop getting on Stan Lee's case. Stan Lee fixed a lot of Kirby mistakes. Yes, maybe Kirby did a lot of them. Stan Lee just said, hey, come up with a space thing, and we're gonna da-da-da with that. And let's have it by Tuesday. And then Kirby plotted the whole thing out. It was Stan Lee's scripts that actually made Kirby's work make sense and function. Okay? Kirby couldn't do it. Now let's move on to Ditko. Again, another moment of Stan Lee apologizing, or apologistic necessity. Gene Kelly, that's who I was thinking of. Yes! Okay. Neither here nor there. By the way, love Gene Kelly's dancing. Love it. Actually, I prefer Gene Kelly over Fred Astaire. So it's kind of funny that Jack Kirby is more of a Gene Kelly artist, where Steve Ditko is more of a Fred Astaire artist, and I'm a much bigger fan of Ditko. Ditko had a beauty to his artwork that was just haunting, actually, and surreal. And I have to find out what the cat's doing behind me. Hold on. Okay, where did she go? Oh, okay, she just made a little mess that I have to clean up. Those who like to give Ditko more credit for Spider-Man need to actually pay attention to the fact that Spider-Man succeeded really well after Ditko left. And the tone didn't change much. Spider-Man was predominantly Stan Lee. Ditko had a huge amount of it. I would give a 50-50 partnering, really. But again, it all went through that Stan Lee filter that made it a genius comic strip. Ditko's another one. Couldn't put together 20 issues of anything. And it's even debatable on how much Ditko had with the creation of Spider-Man, given the fact that Jack Kirby and Stan Lee did a lot of creating of the Marvel Universe, and Jack Kirby, prior to working on Spider-Man, worked at Archie Comics on a character called The Fly, who there are certain little similarities. And given the fact that Kirby liked to recycle ideas, how many different god characters do you come up with? How many patriotic characters do you come up with? It wouldn't be unreasonable for him to think, hey, let's make a Fly-like character for Marvel, and Stan Lee to kind of go with that idea, and then eventually turn it over to Steve Ditko to actually execute visually. So Steve Ditko, I don't even think can claim creation rights. Okay. I love Steve Ditko. Don't get me wrong. Love Steve Ditko. He's one of my all-time favorite of the golden silver age artists. I'm also a big Kurt Swan fan, which I know a lot of people like go, Kurt Swan, really? Really look at his stuff. Kurt Swan is the master of subtlety. Okay, there's just when I was a kid, no, didn't get it. Couldn't understand why Kurt Swan was Kurt Swan and why everyone was all excited about him. As I got older, I realized the any emotional storytelling depth that any Superman comic had was because of Kurt Swan. Okay, it just was. But I'm digressing on to Kurt Swan. Stanley deserves a lot of credit for making Ditko and Kirby work successfully. Steranko deserves almost no credit for doing anything in comic books. That's really where my 2 cents come in here. I know this is going to be like a horribly sacrilegious thing to most people, but so be it. Again, hope everyone's having a great day. I may pop in again sometime this weekend with something, but just thought I'd share that. Now I gotta go hunt down a cat. Char baby. Oh, TB. Hey. Okay, I gotta go. She's off. Bye.